So my next step is to work on the motherboard. What I will try to accomplish today is 1, install the CPU with a bend correction frame. That will require the removal of the supplied latching mechanism, which is this. And so I'll replace that with this frame. The CPU will be an Intel i9-13900K. In an earlier video, I said i9-13600K. That was a mistake. I was misspoken. It's actually a 900K, and this is the CPU. Next, we'll be installing the CPU air cooler frame. And here's the backing plate, and that will be installed on the back side of the motherboard. And here's the on top with some screws. Not sure if I will install the air cooler itself at this time. Trying to decide which would be easier, install the cooler when the motherboard is out of the case or when it is in the case. I think it will be I will first install the frame and then test fit the motherboard in the case to see how crowded it is. And here's the cooler, and this is where it basically will mount. So you can see it's a little bit big. It's got some heft to it. So it might be easier just to leave it off at this time, then install it when the motherboard is installed in the case. Next will be the memory, and memory comprises of two 32 gigabyte DDR5 DIMMs, and I will install those in this slot here and this slot here per the motherboard's manufacturer's recommendation. After that will be the storage drives. So I'm going to install 3 solid-state drives, 2 2TB Western Digital Black 850X drives, and 1 1TB Western Digital 850X drive. So the first one will be installed in this location. This is the one that communicates with the CPU directly, so it should be the fastest. And that drive will contain my operating system and programs. All the other M.2 slots are controlled by the Intel Z790 chipset. So the second 2TB drive will be installed down here. And this will be my work drive. And the third drive is a 1TB Western Digital, and this will be my cache drive and be installed down here. For those of you who've been paying attention, this is a change. Originally I was going to use a 1TB Samsung drive, but I changed it to another Western Digital because 1, it went on sale for a good price, and 2, didn't want to run 2 monitoring programs from 2 different manufacturers. So since I'm not going to install the Samsung SATA drive for archive and use my NAS system for that, there's no reason to run the Samsung monitoring software. So I think that's all I'm going to try to do for now. I'm not going to show you the actual installation, mainly to save myself from embarrassment. But, you know, there's also plenty other YouTube videos out there that'll probably do a better job. But I will return to show you the end results of this video. See you soon. Okay, so I got all my motherboard parts installed. It was quite easy, went quite fast. There's the CPU, the bend frame, the air cooler frame, the memory modules, and the storage drives. You don't see the storage drives because they're hidden underneath the heat sink. Now I haven't test fitted this in the case yet, and the reason I want to test fit it in the case before I install the air cooler is because there's a power connector and some headers up here that I'm worried about having access to. So if I let's see, yeah. So the tower will go approximately here. And so there seems to be some room here, but it all depends on what's on top. Yeah, it's a tight fit. The cooler is quite tall, so there's plenty of areas to get my hand sliced. But the reason why I only want to install the air cooler once is because I have to install some thermal paste on top of the CPU, and it's quite messy. So I'd rather just do that once.